Honorable Minister, in answering some of the issues raised, you could have preempted some of the things that I raised here, but just for, as a matter of emphasis, I'll again mention some of these issues that I raised here. And I will not take long because I have written what I wanted to say according to the program that I received earlier. And it was my understanding that at some point at the end of the program, either you or the general would then close the meeting. But nonetheless, it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome you all to Acholi, especially those of you who are coming from outside. And also let me take this opportunity to congratulate our two new ministers, Dr. Nyamutoro. I also want to thank Engineer Irene, whom I've been hearing about sometimes ago, but I was submitting it today in person. Thank you for the rest of the technical team. I want to thank and appreciate all those persons behind the organization of this meeting that brought us from various backgrounds and expertise so that we can discuss pertinent issues, get some answers, and formulate a harmonious working relationship with all stakeholders on mineral resources, oil and gas. This has come at a good time because some people seem to have given up, while others remain wondering and hoping. Thank you for allowing me to come and make these remarks. Mineral resources are key to socio-economic development and critical to industrial development. That is why some of us started talking about oil and gas way back in 2008 or thereabout. My thinking has always been that the discovery of minerals in Acholi should help speed up the socio-economic change that we need after the war and its attendant effects. Mineral resources are among the most important resources that determines a country's industrial growth and wealth. And by that, I hope someday, as the saying goes, that the wealth of a nation and as I was saying, that the wealth of a nation should be reflected on its people. And therefore, we shall wait to see whether this will be for the case of Acholi and whether Acholi will rise from the cradle of poverty due to the discovery of some of these vital minerals. We also know that minerals contribute as industrial raw materials, a lot of which is also used in agricultural production, in the manufacture of fertilizers, pesticides, soil amendments, animal feeds, food storage and processing, and so on. We expect that the government will use these resources to help the region recover, catch up with the rest of the country, more importantly, in the increase of agricultural production and processing as the main economic activity. Therefore, if utilized well, It can bring positive development, but on the other hand, if abused, it can cause instability as witnessed in other countries with oil wealth. Here in Acholi, the cost of oil seems to manifest itself very early, because since its discovery, we tried as a people, and you have witnessed with the presentation of Professor Acana, that the Acholi people sat down and talked about the minerals and oil especially at that time. But we felt that we had been left out for some reason that we couldn't understand. And what pains our people, as Professor Acana mentioned earlier, is that the bigger percentage of oil is assumed to be in Acholi, but nothing almost is mentioned about it. And that is why you hear people calling for the need for honesty and transparency, because we are all part and parcel of Uganda. Yes. All issues that we are complaining about can be solved by the government without involving any other person or any other third party, so long as there is a will. Maybe this meeting will be the magic that will get us along. In the past, most of our attempts to meet those concerns were futile, and it raised a lot of fear that something must be wrong. Personally, my fear was compounded when the president said that we should concentrate on agriculture and leave the issue of oil alone, because oil will not last for long, and this was during the rebuttal of the former inspector of police, Rema. I would like to thank and commend General Saleh, because he has been listening to some people who have been telling him about the issue of oil, inclusive our members of parliament, religious leaders, elders, and other people. And that is why I believe this meeting is here today. We are aware that there are more minerals that are being discovered in Acholi, such as graphite, and believe that the due process from exploration to extraction will be done in a manner that involves all stakeholders. Unfortunately, though, there is already a discontent with the company that is prospecting graphite in Rwot. Apart from the hundreds of tons that has already been shipped in the name of samples, which looks to many people like some sort of theft, some individuals working in that company have shown arrogance and total lack of cooperation with local leaders. Honorable Minister, I personally, or through somebody, requested that I meet the bosses of Nankabirwa, because I had received complaints from Rwot, from the local chief there, and from some councillors. But I was amazed, if it is true, that one of the bosses said that he could not come and meet me because the minister said so, and I believe it could be you. These are some of the things that annoys people, because what people want is getting information, and we know that there are standards that are set for certain things and the way that they can be done. As we talk about minerals and mineral resources, oil and gas, let me also mention about land, because this is a sensitive matter that has been causing a lot of unrest in our community. Minerals and land go together, and there is general suspicion that a certain quest for land acquisition in Acholi is linked to availability of minerals in those areas. Although we clearly know the landowners and the system of ownership in Acholi, a lot of underhand methods are being used to acquire land. Even land ownership, use, and rights are being defined by different interests, differently. Take the case of Professor Beatun, which threw people into chaos, where some of us were attacked, insulted, and ridiculed for not agreeing with his methods and the purpose. Such should not be repeated in Acholi, and those who have resources for sponsorship for such should channel for better activities. Also, the way government or its agents deals with land matters are questionable and stirs a lot of anger. The enlargement of government land by extending their boundaries into community land, such as ranches, game reserves, animal corridors, forest reserves, is deplorable and suspicious. We got some persons who come in the name of government institutions to claim government land or open boundaries of government land that are later discovered to be individuals who are related to agents of government. Interestingly, the community knows about it because our communities are now enlightened and they have a lot of information of how some government officials work to apportion many resources to themselves. Again, this annoys. The irony is that even if you follow the correct procedures at times to get the so-called government land, so long as you are not connected to any government agent, you are bound to fail. Again, this example is personal. When I requested the president to allow us through the relevant ministries to have part of Aswa Ranch, so that as a company of individuals from Acholi, a group called Northern Ranchers, ranching activities should be carried out. And what I was told was that I should have a good business plan for that, and the people concerned, all the experts of making those plans are within the government institutions, and it cost me 10 million shillings, but did I get the land? No. Instead, some political rejects from parties, specifically from the NRM, were allocated this part of land, Uganda prison, some Somali who wants to rear camels, including some individuals, were given this land. And if you look at the history of that land, my grandfather was part of the decision to give that land to the government, and it is within my immediate jurisdiction. The government and its agents should therefore not be discriminative in its dealing with us on those matters. If it is government land, then don't lease it out to anybody at all, so that we know that government has land over it, because at times it is a source of conflict within the community. As I conclude, I am hopeful that today we shall have many questions answered, many more information revealed, and some sort of agreements reached as far as we can in matters of mineral resources, oil and gas. Therefore, there is need for transparency and clear objectives so that we can advise our people accordingly. For example, land where minerals would have been discovered, if it were possible, should not be sold off or compensated off, but the local ownership retained and an arrangement made such that after the completion of the projects, the land then will revert back to the owner, or the owner will continue owning it. This allows landowners to get other benefits from the minerals, the mineral projects. I also want to say that mineral processing facilities should be built on site within Acholi. I know we have already talked about that, but it will help our people benefit more in terms of employment, right from construction of facilities, processing and transportation of finished products. Royalties alone will not cover everybody unless put under special arrangement, probably under KPA Acholi or another agreed upon institution, which is an umbrella to the whole of Acholi. Other benefits can be further realized from the production and sales of other consumables to workers at the processing plant, extraction sites, and so on. And therefore, this calls for industrial power and upgrade of electricity naturally, which I'm glad that you cleared all that. Only revenue sharing is in the law, so apart from the official benefits, special consideration should be given to Acholi because they have a bigger percentage of oil and to help in the recovery from the effect of the long war. We want a stated scholarship. We want a stated scholarship for higher education so that we can have a tangible benefit. For example, if oil is estimated to last for 30 years and there is a stated scholarship for, say, 100 students from Acholi, then we know that after 30 years, we would have got 3,000 productive human resources of various professions. That can contribute to institutional capacity building, not only in Acholi, but also in Uganda. We would want such to help in massive mechanization of agriculture in Acholi. All we want from this is something that will give a lasting impression. I also advise that the oil and gas issue should not be localized to your region, only as we hear. In fact, there should have been a fair distribution of developmental projects and programs that are taking place over there to include areas of Acholi. I presume it is not yet late. By working together, we shall go a long way, and this requires that we recognize the cultures and traditions of whoever we are working with. Do not stampede us, because we have been through a lot and still going through a lot of difficulties. We are trying to come to terms with the presidential executive order due to resource conflicts generated out of charcoal burning, timber harvesting, land sales and occupations, as well as raids by pastoralists. And now mineral matters are forming at the horizon. Let us build a trustworthy partnership that we can rely on to overcome the challenges ahead. Most importantly, let us stop using underhand methods. If at all we are mineral resources and oil and gas issues. I thank you all, and I thank you all for your contribution. Thank you very much.